Right now on Denver 7 News, one person is dead after a shootout with Aurora police. The investigation now underway as the city works towards naming a new chief to lead the department. A big Sunday in store for sports fans and businesses alike. The Broncos, Avalanche, and the Rockies are all gearing up to play later on today. How bars are prepping for the perfect storm. A push to beautify one Denver metro neighborhood and honor one of its former all-star residents. The project you can participate in today to change the face of Park Hill.
Good Sunday morning. I'm Jessica Crawford. Welcome to Denver 7 News.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. Thank you so much for joining us here on this beautiful Sunday morning. Let's start with a look outside at Empower Field. It's quiet right now, but before long it will be bustling as people head out to tailgate before tonight's game against the 49ers kickoff at 6:20. This morning it's clear skies really all across the state. Very little cloud coverage, some really stunning conditions up into the mountains. Leaves really starting to pop into our northern and central mountains, so it could be a great day to take a drive up into the mountains. We're expecting dry conditions all across the state. We started off a little chilly, only in the upper 20s in Leadville early on, but we're now seeing 40s filtering in under that sunshine. 50s currently from Denver out over the plains, and Burlington down through Lamar right now at 60 degrees. It's going to be nice this afternoon, really gorgeous conditions all across Colorado. We're expecting highs today for the Denver area in the mid to upper 70s, seasonal for this time of the year, and warmer into the mountains with 70s from Steamboat Springs down through Gunnison. So for our Broncos game tonight, it's going to be mostly clear skies. Pleasant early on, increasing clouds a bit by 10 p.m. and we want to bring that extra layer along as temperatures cool to the low to mid 60s by the end of the game. Jessica.
Katie, thank you. Denver police are investigating an Aurora officer-involved shooting that killed one person. Aurora police say yesterday afternoon, officers were pursuing a stolen car with 3 people inside. When they finally made contact with the group, police say one of the suspects ran across Alameda and pulled out a gun. 2 of the officers shot the man. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries where he later died. One of the other suspects inside the car was taken into custody. No Denver officers were involved, but the shooting occurred within the boundaries of Denver, so DPD is going to be the lead investigating agency in that case. Aurora police also arrested this man for reportedly carrying a gun inside the children's hospital. Police say Jeremy Tate entered the building through an employee entrance. He had 6 outstanding warrants, including 3 felonies. Tate is also charged with possession of a weapon by a previous offender, possession of an illegal weapon, and possession of a large capacity magazine. This is all coming as the city of Aurora looks to name a new person to take over as police chief and lead the department. Police Chief Vanessa Wilson was fired in April over concerns about her management and leadership. Former Chief Dan Oates then took over as interim chief. The city now has settled on 2 finalists for the job. The first finalist is Scott Ebner. He's worked for the New Jersey State Police for about 27 years, where he's now Deputy Superintendent of Administration. Ebner previously worked for the Cape Coral Police Department in Florida. The second finalist is Albuquerque Police Chief of Staff David Franklin. He also serves as a law enforcement instructor. Before, he worked for the Texas Department of Public Safety for 25 years. A third finalist withdrew from consideration. The city says they may look at semifinalists for reconsideration. Finalists are interviewing with the mayor and the city council on Wednesday.
All right, your Denver Broncos, they are set to take on the San Francisco 49ers tonight at Empower Field.
But that is not the only game that's happening today. The Rockies, they're going to play the San Diego Padres at Coors Field this afternoon. And the Colorado Avs are on the road taking on the Minnesota Wild for their first preseason game. Denver 7's Brandon Richard is live downtown in the Ballpark District with why a day like this is so important for businesses.
Well, this is a very exciting day for Denver sports fans. What a perfect way to wind down the weekend with all 3 of those teams in action today. Of course, it's not just fans. Businesses are pretty pumped up about today. Businesses like Society, Sports, and Spirits. That's where a lot of fans like to hang out and gather and watch the games. And they're expecting a large crowd today, as you can imagine. Now, the manager told us they did all of their hiring in August. And now is their time to shine.
I love the fans of sports, and I feel like that's what makes my world go round. That's what puts bread and butter on the table for all of us.
Now, the Rockies will get things started playing at Coors Field at 1 o'clock this afternoon. The Broncos kick off their game at 6:20 tonight at Empower Field. And finally, the Stanley Cup champs, the Avs, play their first preseason game at Ball Arena at 7 o'clock. Now, Society Sports and Spirits says that they will have plenty of TVs so you can come out and watch the games, all 3 games today. And they're also going to be opening early at 10 o'clock this morning, so you can come out and watch things with your fellow Denver sports fans. Of course, it ought to be a lot of fun. We're live in Denver this morning. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
A lot to cheer for, that's for sure, this Sunday. Thank you, Brandon. Well, Denver police, they are prepared for all the games today, and they're asking you to take some basic precautions as well. Plan ahead for a safe, sober ride to and from the stadiums or wherever you'll be watching the games from. You can also use RTD to get around town or carpool with friends to minimize the amount of cars on the road. Police also suggest getting where you need to be early, as heavier traffic is expected throughout the downtown corridor. And while sports will help drive traffic to these businesses, downtown Denver is still struggling to keep many stores around, as pre-pandemic shopping levels, they still haven't returned to normal.
Denver 7's Rob Harris explains a new program hoping to give new businesses a big break.
The program's called Pop-Up Denver. It's run by the Downtown Denver Partnership, and the offer is pretty straightforward. Essentially, any small business that's willing to occupy a currently empty storefront on 16th Street Mall can get at least 3 months of free rent, plus a stipend for their marketing and design costs if they're selected. 5 businesses were chosen for Phase 1, and now 10 more will be chosen for Phase 2. I talked to 2 very impressive entrepreneurs who were this close with Phase 1, and now they're hoping Phase 2 is their lucky shot.
It looks delicious.
They've already got their jingle.
Sisters, sisters, we got the codes. Whenever you eat them, you've got soul.
And they're already selling boxes and boxes of their delicious treats online.
People order 100.
But 11-year-old Charlize and 13-year-old Zaire Hawkins have their sights set on downtown Denver. And they're not going to stop until they have a storefront to call their own.
We want it to be colorful so a lot of people can see. There'd be little kids seeing oh my gosh, Mom, can we come back here? Because it would probably make them really happy to see other children doing their own thing.
The Hawkins sisters applied for the first round of Denver pop-up business grants earlier this year, and they were among the top finalists. And now that Phase 2 of the program has been announced. So you guys planning to try again?
Yes.
It's a lot of work, creating their dream business from the ground up while still getting all their schoolwork done.
How many eggs did you put in?
3.
But they have a vision, not only for themselves, but for Denver.
There's a lack of diversity in Colorado, and we want to make a change. And there's a lot of room for us to do that.
We're little black kids, and most little black kids don't really have their own business.
We want to just inspire people to be their own CEO, just like us, and we can make a difference.
The Hawkins sisters and others who are interested are already working on their business pitches because the Downtown Denver Partnership plans to accept applications for Phase 2 starting in February. For Denver 7, I'm Rob Harris.
Good luck to them, and a shout out to the parents for actually empowering them to do stuff like that. Well, the start of fall was just 3 days ago, but it's already time to start thinking about winter flu season. What Colorado doctors say you can expect from the virus and how best to keep your family healthy this year.
But first, as we prepare for some beautiful weather here in Colorado today, our friends in Florida are bracing for Hurricane Ian. The impact of this storm expected stateside after Hurricane Fiona just hit people living in the Caribbean and up through Canada.